Okay, for my final project, I'm going to be playing Civilization V, Brave New World. Now, if you don't know what Civ 5 is, it is a strategy game where you go turn by turn, kind of like a board game. What you play as a civilization through history. Now for me, I'm going to be playing Japan, of course. You play as a civilization and you make decisions to try to better your civilization and beat the other civilizations. There's many other ways to do this, but I'm not going to go into it because the goal here is not to win. We're going to try to make this as historically accurate as possible. I have spent the last couple hours troubleshooting the map. And I have failed in many different ways. I have come to the conclusion that I have to throw geography out of the window, and I gotta throw time frame out of the window, and I just gotta keep the decisions as close to what the Japanese made. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, great. Now we're in game. If you look here, you can see our score. I'm last, of course. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set up my civilization and see what it looks like. Ooh, I'm Kyoto. Great. First civ's Kyoto. Now we can also look up here at the time frame. I skipped a couple turns, so just so I wouldn't have to start so early, because I feel like the first 2,000 years of this game aren't really important to what I'm trying to do here. But we're still stuck in 2020 BC. So let's just blank out this. Time doesn't exist. Okay, cool. Let's get started. So in this game, you choose your research. Now, what I've chosen to research is ironwork. I won't be able to build samurai units yet, but I feel like that's important, so I'm going to try to build towards that. This is not that great of a decision for the gameplay, but it's good for kind of keeping with the ideas. So right now we're just, I'm just kind of like trying to get a feel for the map, looking around. If you look to the left here, I'm choosing what each city builds, and I don't want to build kind of a religion yet. So I kind of want to grab a religion from, hopefully another civilization gives me a religion. It's not necessarily going to be Buddhism, and since I don't know much about the religions before this the time period that we focused on in class, I don't really want to spec for it. I'm going to grab a monument, and this will help me just build up a couple culture, because we know Japanese is culture. So I was just talking to my friend. He's playing Portugal right now. It looks like I'm in Africa right now, and we both know that's not very accurate. We're just gonna ignore that. What we're gonna focus on is the international relationships. I've met China. Now, I don't know where they are, but I'm gonna try to build up some trade relationships with them. So I'm gonna go into trade. I'm just gonna accept some embassy. Just gonna find out where they are, just like understand. Well, looks like they're right above me. This is not bad. So it looks like I might have forgotten to set this to Earth, which doesn't matter because I can't actually choose where I'm spawned anyway. It looks like I'm in a simulator. I'm just gonna create whatever I think that Japan would have done in this situation. Think of it for the better. Huh. So it's important to note here that I can actually construct on this piece of land a mine or a farm. I'm gonna make a farm because I think that's a little more to what would have happened in Japan. Now, I already have a couple mines over here because I mean I can't build anything else on these tiles besides mines. So might as well make everything else I can farmland, right? Great. Let's just assume that they're producing rice though. I get to found a pantheon, which isn't quite a religion. I think I don't think I'm going like off key here. It's just kind of like it's just something that our society follows. So let's try to look for one that would kind of fit Japan. I win +1 food from camps, just because I have a couple camps here. There wasn't much of a decision I can make at this point, understanding, so I think I made a right choice. It'll help me in the future, in this game, just to stay kind of with the flow. I don't want to get too far behind, otherwise it's going to be pointless in me playing this. So, we've officially met Korea now. China's on our continent. I actually don't know where Korea is, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to create some trade routes, I guess. Same thing I was trying to go with for China, but right now, I'm not sure we can do that, so I'm just going to accept the embassy and try to find out where the hell they are. Okay, so there they are. They're not too far out. Problem is they don't have, it doesn't look like they have an ocean city. So even though I have this nice little cargo ship, I can't actually trade with them yet until they get an ocean city. We're just going to have to wait, and we're maybe 20 turns off of the samurai, so I'll catch back with you then. We're about an hour, 15 minutes in. I still haven't gotten to the point where I feel Japan is good enough in international relationships. So just to check off, what I've done is I've met all cities or all other civilizations besides Portugal. I still haven't met my friend yet, but I know exactly where China and Korea are. I can't quite trade with Korea yet, but I have been trading with China. I'm not in a place where I think that the samurai would be out yet. I have a pantheon founded. I don't have a religion yet. I never intended on creating a religion. I was hoping that China would. Oh, so far they haven't. But I know Portugal is Catholic right now. I will soon start to construct samurai. Once that happens, I'm really going to try to get into the civil war in Japan. A little bit after the civil war, I'm just going to be having relations, maybe trading religions with these other civilizations. Hopefully they'll have them built up by then. We're going to get really in-depth into what happens in the relationships between the international, and I'm going to try my best, even though it's not likely in this game, to try to capture what happens in Japan at this time. I'm already constructing, many of these cities are farmlands. I have some warriors, but most of them are workers, and I like that because I have a lot of workers, and a lot of Japan was workers at this time, right? We now have our first samurai unit. What I'm going to try to do is separate them. I already have this great general, but I'm not going to make him active because I kind of want to make him Oda Nobunaga. Make my great general one of the great unifiers. I think that would fit nicely. So I'm just going to keep him there. He's not actually going to do anything for a couple hundred years. I ended up getting a great prophet, which means I can found a religion. I don't see Chinese creating a religion. I'm just going to found a religion. Kyoto now has Confucianism. We get culture for our religion. Doesn't that fit? Yeah, it does. Well, RIP, Korea went ahead and founded Buddhism. You know, that would be so perfect though, because I founded Confucianism. So if Korea can actually give some of my cities Buddhism and you could give the rest of them Christianity, that would be so great. So I just sent out a trade to Korea. I'm starting to trade with Korea now that I can. They have a city, and they've actually founded Buddhism. So I guess that's nice. From the trade routes I have with Korea, I'm actually getting some Buddhist pressure. Maybe I'll change, maybe I won't. We'll have to wait and see. This is a missionary unit from Korea. So I guess we're kind of getting our wish that a foreign country gives us a religion. Portugal's about to as well. So I'm thinking about 2 turns, they're going to land, they're going to dock, and then they're going to spread their religion. At this point in the game, we're about to begin the Onin War. We have samurai units, but as I see them, they're warrior families. You can see each individual one has a bunch of samurai with them, so we're going to refer to them as warrior families. I am also producing triremes, which are a type of ship in this game, and I'm moving them over to other areas because they are mercenaries. They're gonna guard the other people's ships, even though they didn't ask for it. That's just what I'm gonna do. Here, go off. Go guard some Chinese merchants. You stay here and guard me. A nice little ship over here by China's borders. So they're trusting me enough to let me defend them from barbarians, but they're not trusting me enough to actually go inside their border. So suddenly, failure to choose an heir has erupted in war among warrior families in Japan. Some have allied together, others have allied together, but they are against each other, and they have chosen to fight. So this one will come over here and attack that one, and this one will come over here and attack this one as well, and then this one is just gonna watch idly by while family are destroyed. Oh, forgot about that one. Yeah. As the battle commences, we see a family perish. More families are getting involved. They move upwards to side with other families over who will be the next children. But more families fall as this happens. They are beginning to tire of this war and will soon separate. Though there is no clear victor in this war, the samurai families grow tired. They will go back to their territory. So the Onin War is over. The samurai have gone back to their respective places, but there is still a power struggle in Kyoto. But in this power struggle, there is also a lot of culture and demonstrations. So Kyoto, for the next few turns, is going to be spec'd for building up culture in their city. So I'm going to add an artist guild, which increases my culture in this city. Even though we're losing money and it would be a better idea to go banking to try to make some of that up, we're gonna go acoustics instead, because one, we know the samurai are terrible with money. Only the merchants are good with money, but that's why I have merchant vessels going back and forth between other countries. So we're just gonna go acoustics because that adds a little more culture to our environment. So it's 1480. We have finally met Portugal. Now I'm just gonna do the same thing as I did with all the other countries, just try to find out where he is. He hasn't actually docked on my area. We haven't gotten to the point where missionaries are in Kyoto, but we're probably gonna see that soon since he is specking for religion. Okay, so it looks like Portugal is directly to the right of us, across the sea. I guess that's kind of accurate. There is a giant sea between Portugal and Japan. Around this time, we see a Japanese family try to move through Oda Nobunaga's territory, our little great general right here, and in the night, he will take them. So he's going to attack. Well, it looks like the battle's going to last a turn since I can't actually delete this unit right now. So we're back at this turn, and now we're going to see this samurai family fall to Oda Nobunaga. He's going to milk his power for a bit, or the power he just gained, and then he's going to start uniting all the samurai units, whether by destroying them or bringing them together. But since I don't actually have that many samurai units left after the Onin War, I think I'm just going to have to unite them instead of killing all of them. I know the time frame's a little off here. I have Oda Nobunaga uniting this samurai family under him, so these guys like him. But I don't even have Buddhism in Japan. I guess this is just one of the mistakes I faced, or one of the difficulties I faced so far. Kyoto's still in its cultural revolution here. We know Oda Nobunaga was very cultured, trying to spread culture, winning families over using tea ceremonies. Now, I can't actually express tea ceremonies, but I can still build up my culture. I'm just gonna go ahead and build an opera house in Kyoto, because that'll increase my culture, even though it's not necessarily accurate, or not necessarily tea, but this game doesn't have tea. So we have the samurai unit, now allied with Oda Nobunaga, and they're just gonna stay here for this turn, and they're gonna gradually go around trying to unite everyone. We have a second great general. Now this can be Hideyoshi, and he's going to be allied with Oda. While Hideyoshi goes off to battle under Oda Nobunaga's name, Oda and his little samurai family over here is going to go over to Tokyo and try to ally with that family. So I'm not sure if Oda Nobunaga actually fought his own battles, but he's over here with his protective samurai unit fighting off some barbarians. May not be accurate, but that's the only way he's going to win this family over. No tea parties, no cultural gifts. We're not even going to kill them. We may kill them if they defy us, but for right now, the only way to win their family, their loyalty, is to fight with them. Okay, so Oda Nobunaga has allied with his family up here, and he's going to be heading back to Kyoto to establish a new shogun, which hasn't been seen since the end of the Onin War. This family is now going to be known as Yoshiaki, and he will be established as the leader in Kyoto, or the new shogunate. So Oda Nobunaga has just established a new shogunate, a puppet shogunate that is really under his rule. This samurai unit over here did not like that. We can refer to them as I think it's the Rokaku clan. While Hideyoshi is out launching campaigns under Nobunaga's name, he relaxes, and one of his generals, I don't know how to say his name, so let's just show it right here, rebels, and
Oda Nobunaga
and his family line. Goodbye. So we have just killed off Oda Nobunaga. The time frame, as we can see, is a little bit off. The Portuguese still haven't landed in Osaka yet. We know that Oda Nobunaga was very gracious to them as they entered, so I might have killed them off a little too early. But at this point, we're progressing really fast, and I feel if I don't kill them off or going to be in this game in about 2000 BC, and Ieyasu is going to be running around nuking people. I'm about to start learning guns and ships. I'm already in ships, preparing for the Portuguese to land, just under the assumption that they, as analyzing this nice little missionary ship, I will learn how to create better, more efficient ships on my own. Now, we have Hideyoshi up here. He's about to take control, as we know. We have a castle in Osaka now. Now that Hideyoshi is in charge, this will be Osaka Castle, which Hideyoshi built. It's kind of the last stronghold, but we'll see when Ieyasu destroys it. So we got another great artist, which means we can produce more artwork. Let's see what we get this time. Oh wait, this is a writer. Let's see what he will write. He wrote The Great Gatsby. That's interesting, considering it's 1630 AD. But I'm glad Kyoto has The Great Gatsby now. We can see this great prophet is in Osaka right now. He's not actually going to convert Osaka because since Hideyoshi doesn't like Christianity, so he's probably going to move over to Kyoto, try to convert Kyoto. Now with the Portuguese on our land, we can now build frigates and privateers. Those are new European ships that we have broken down and discovered. We're also going to research gunpowder, now that the Portuguese have given us gunpowder, or now that the Portuguese have shown us guns. Oh, we again have many samurai units. Hideyoshi is succeeding in uniting Japan after the fall of Oda Nobunaga. We have a lot of samurai families, actually. Hideyoshi is still having battles with other warrior families, and his units will conquer this territory for him. They'll also conquer this territory as well. Now, he's also using these nice Sea Lord ships to help him control. But little did they know he's going to begin stripping away their power, their ability to trade, so that this unit has been disbanded over Hideyoshi's rule. Hideyoshi used his ships to help him win battles, but now he's disbanded much of the Sea Lord's power, so we're going to start deleting our ships. So let's go ahead and get rid of this one. Let's say he's at the pinnacle of his power. And Kyoto was just converted to Christianity. So the Portuguese are over here converting all of our people to Christianity. We're being accepted, and our friend Hideyoshi doesn't like that very much. We're going to send a samurai unit. His unit's still following these Christians around because they're not trustworthy. Let's see what they do. So Hideyoshi is at the peak of his power, and he's starting to go a little bit crazy, let's say. He's ordering Christians out. So he's going to go ahead and make an example of these Christians, and they're going to die. Because of that decision, we have now declared war on Portugal. Now, I don't think that happened in real life. It looks like we have our own little missionary now. It didn't actually die. It looks like we just took over it. I actually wasn't expecting that. But under his craziness, he's also going to send units to attack Korea. And he's going to go chill in Osaka Castle where he waits to die. So I went ahead and sent a peace treaty to my friend. One, the issue here is I took his unit and I actually deleted it because what am I going to do with the Portuguese? So I banished Christians, so he's going to run away. We're at peace now because at no point was Japan actually at war with Portugal over kicking the Christians out. Okay, so we're about to declare war on Korea now. It's just a stupid Hideyoshi decision. Oh my god, they are so much more advanced than we are. We're going to lose so hard. But we're doing it anyway. Hideyoshi is still in his castle, just chilling. I do have a slight problem. I have been making the unifiers, or I have been making my great generals unifiers, but from what I can see, it doesn't look like I'm going to produce another great general. We're gonna say this guy dies and becomes Ieyasu, even though he's supposed to be alive at this time. We're just gonna move him out of Osaka. Units are gonna move out unilaterally of Korea, and I'm going to attempt to send Korea
a peace treaty.
He doesn't want to end the war. I'm kind of screwed here. I actually think we're still at war with Korea. Let me check. We are still at war with Korea. Let's see if they'll negotiate peace yet. Oh, okay. He accepted. We are no longer at war with Korea. He didn't ask for anything, which I thought was very surprising. I guess it's because I have samurai units all over the place. I have a little benefit over him. Another issue that I have is I thought I didn't need my friend anymore, and since we've been playing this game for the past 3 or so days during finals week, I said, go ahead, man, go ahead, leave, study, do your own thing. But now I realize Ieyasu and Hidori both had communications with Europeans, so it was very premature of me to send them off. So we're just going to have to assume that some of the Portuguese are still left in Kyoto and talking with Ieyasu, and Osaka talking with Hidori. But that was a mistake on my part. That wasn't a fault of the game. We're going to go ahead and rename Tokyo Edo, just to make this more sense. I can't create another city at this point, so I'm just going to make this Edo. We're going to go ahead and send Ieyasu up to Edo. I'm just going to rule him. So we got Ieyasu in Edo. The only threat to his rule is Hidori, who is now in Osaka Castle. Say it's this unit right here. We're going to go ahead and send Ieyasu's units to Osaka to lay siege to Osaka Castle. So we have Ieyasu's army surrounding Osaka Castle. Now I can't actually simulate battle, but let's just say they're attacking over and over and over again. They can't breach Osaka Castle because it's just too strong. And we still have trade routes coming out of Osaka, so they're not completely dead yet. They still have supplies, and they're going to hold them off for years to come. So after realizing he cannot actually take Osaka Castle, Hidori and Ieyasu have made an agreement. These units will back off. So with this agreement, the workers will fill in the trenches, and there's no hostility between Hidori and Ieyasu. But they are wrong. The siege to Osaka, this time they take it easily. Hidori either flees or dies. It's not sure known, but we're just going to delete all these samurai units. Since I can't actually destroy my own cities, or not cities, I can't destroy my own castles, we're just going to say destroy. Ieyasu has secured himself as ruler of Japan, the undisputed ruler of Japan now that Hidori is gone. He's now the shogun. So after a few years of rule, Ieyasu is going to retire and leave the shogunate in the hands of his son. And he's going to move back to his old home. After successfully setting up the shogunate, Ieyasu has passed away. He will be placed in this area. I am going to build a temple. This great prophet that I have accumulated will make him a god and build a temple for his funeral right in this little area. And that shall be his tomb. And we're gonna end there. Pretty much the end of the quest. But hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me.